chosen one. Still yourself. For a moment, this is not just another message scrolling by your screen. This is a divine interruption. Heaven has paused time to speak directly into the middle of your storm. You have been wondering, why is this happening to me? But heaven whispers back, because I trust you. Ender, the storm around you is not evidence that you are forgotten. It is evidence that you are favored. Heaven does not send storms to the unchosen. The ones carrying divine assignments are always tested by divine winds. The shaking is not meant to scatter you. It is meant to separate what is eternal from what is temporary. You feel the weight pressing on your chest, the silence of unanswered prayers, the fatigue of standing strong for too long. Yet heaven calls you by name. Endure. For this storm is your divine classroom. It is where obedience is proven, where purpose is purified, and where faith is forged into something unbreakable. You asked heaven to use you, and heaven said, "Then I must prepare you." That preparation looks like pain, but it's really promotion disguised in chaos. Every gust of wind is chiseling away what cannot stay. Every tear is watering the seed of your next season. Listen carefully if it feels unbearable. It's because you've been entrusted with something eternal. The enemy attacks you not because you're weak, but because you carry something worth fearing. The greater your calling, the greater your confrontation. Stop doubting yourself. Chosen one. You are not cursed. You are commissioned. You are not lost. You are being led through a process that most would run from. The silence you hear from heaven is not punishment. It's preparation for divine instruction. You are walking a road few can endure. Heaven is not testing your worth. It is revealing it. Every delay, every closed door is the sound of heaven rerouting you toward destiny. Nothing is wasted. Even your waiting carries divine design. The angels have watched your silent obedience, your faith, when no one applauded. That unseen faith has weight in heaven. The throne has taken notice. What you thought was isolation is actually incubation. You are being refined in secrecy for a very public purpose. Chosen one. Do not fear the shaking within. It is the sound of your spirit expanding to contain greater glory. The storm is heaven's sculptor, shaping you into a vessel of authority. You are not collapsing, you are being constructed. Stay in alignment. Every tear that falls is counted, every sigh recorded. You are not unseen. The fire around you is not consuming you. It's consuming the doubt that once lived inside you. What emerges from this will not resemble who entered it, will shine with divine resilience. And when the storm finally bows, heaven will unveil the version of you it always saw. Stronger, wiser, untouchable by fear. The wind that tried to silence you will become the rhythm of your testimony. The chosen always rise from ruins crowned in glory. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, 2nd epistle, chapter 4, verse 17, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an éternel glory that far outweighs them all." Hold on to that truth. The pressure is temporary, but the glory being formed within you is eternal. The storm that tried to bury you is the same storm that will announce you. What was meant to break you will build you. Heaven's trust in you is the reason you're still standing when others would have fallen. And when this season passes, and it will, you will look back and understand why it had to be this way. The pain will make sense. The silence will make sense. You will realize that heaven wasn't punishing you. It was preparing you for influence. for authority, for impact. So rise again, even while the thunder still echoes. Breathe again, even while the rain still falls. Heaven's eyes are on you, watching your resilience, recording your endurance. You are not merely surviving this storm, you are mastering it. If this word has stirred something inside your spirit, don't keep it hidden. Like, share, and subscribe so this message reaches other warriors walking through their own winds. And as a prophetic declaration of trust, type 777 in the comments below. Let heaven see your faith written in digital ink. The storm you're in is heaven's certificate of trust. You are not breaking down, you are breaking through. Chosen one. The darkness has been watching you. It mistook your silence for surrender, your patience for weakness, your tears for defeat. But it doesn't know what heaven knows. It doesn't see the fire still burning beneath your brokenness. The storm didn't come to expose your fragility. It came to reveal your foundation. You have been targeted not because you are failing, but because you are faithful. When the unseen realm senses divine promotion, resistance intensifies. The enemy tries to interpret your life through his limited perspective. He sees chaos and assumes collapse. But heaven looks deeper. What the enemy calls destruction, God calls construction. The storm around you is proof that divine trust rests on your shoulders. You see, when you belong to heaven, you will always confuse hell. Your quiet strength becomes a mystery. Your refusal to give up becomes a threat. That's why you've faced attacks that seem unreasonable, betrayals that cut deep, and losses that came out of nowhere. It's because the darkness recognizes something in you before you even fully see it yourself. Every trial has been surveillance by heaven. The moments when you felt abandoned were the moments you were actually being observed, your endurance measured, your faith recorded. Heaven has been watching how you respond when there's no applause, no comfort, and no visible reward. And every time you chose to stand instead of surrender, heaven wrote "trusted" beside your name. Chosen one. It's time to understand. Spiritual warfare doesn't always announce itself with thunder. Sometimes it comes in whispers of doubt, in the heaviness that visits without reason, in the sudden feeling that you're unworthy. The darkness tries to disguise itself as your own thoughts. That's how it misreads you. It thinks you'll believe every lie it sends. But you have something greater inside you. You have discernment that cuts through deception. You carry divine light that cannot be extinguished. You are not losing your mind. You are awakening your spirit. The battle you're fighting is not happening to you. It's happening through you. Heaven has positioned you on the front lines because your very existence disrupts darkness. There's a reason certain people turned against you without cause. Why some doors closed without warning. It was never personal. It was spiritual. When the enemy realizes he can't destroy your purpose, he distracts your peace. But even that is failing now, because you're beginning to see beyond the surface. You're starting to recognize what's truly at work behind the scenes. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Elijah. First Book of Kings, chapter 18, verse 21. How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal, follow him. That ancient question echoes through time into your present moment. The storm demands your decision. Will you follow fear, or will you follow faith? The darkness cannot defeat a heart that has made up its mind to stand with God, no matter the cost. This is not about comfort anymore. It's about conviction. You are being refined to become decisive, unwavering, immovable. Heaven is teaching you to stop negotiating with things that weaken your spirit. The enemy's greatest weapon is confusion, but your greatest defense is clarity. And clarity is born when you stop trying to explain your storm and start embracing your assignment. You have been chosen to stand where others stumble, to declare light, even when the atmosphere feels thick with shadows. Heaven trusts you because you don't break the moment pain arrives. You analyze, you pray, you rise again. That resilience terrifies the darkness. It cannot understand how you still glow after so much loss. So let the enemy misread you. It's part of heaven's plan. The confusion of darkness becomes your camouflage. While it assumes you're defeated, heaven is quietly positioning you for victory. You are hidden in plain sight, guarded by grace, moving toward destiny under divine disguise. You don't have to fight for recognition. Heaven has already written your name on its record. The unseen world knows who you are. That's why attacks intensified when you stepped into obedience. You triggered a shift the moment you decided to stop running. You are no longer reacting, you are reigning. Remember this truth. Chosen one, every false accusation, every misunderstanding, every silent battle has built within you a strength that cannot be shaken. The darkness didn't break you, it built your discernment. You learned how to hear God in the wind, how to sense truth beneath the noise. And now, heaven is preparing to reveal what has been hidden. What seemed like delay is actually protection. What looked like loss is about to transform into testimony. You are coming out of this storm with revelation, not regret. The enemy misread your silence, but heaven interprets it as strategy. You're not withdrawing, you're waiting on divine instruction. You're not giving up, you're gearing up. And when you speak again, it won't be from pain, it will be from power. Chosen one. You've always known you were different. Even when you tried to blend in, heaven kept pulling you out. You've walked through rooms that never felt like home, carried hearts that never fully understood yours. You've been surrounded by people yet still felt unseen. But hear this, the isolation wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Heaven has been setting you apart, not pushing you away. The loneliness you feel is not emptiness, it's preparation. You were never meant to walk the common road. You are a forerunner, someone heaven trusts to break patterns, to challenge norms, to carry revelation that doesn't fit in the world's rhythm. And because of that, you were required to walk alone for a season. It wasn't punishment, it was positioning. You asked God, "Why am I always the one who has to be strong?" And heaven whispered, "Because strength is part of your calling. You were designed to carry weight others can't bear. You've been forged in silence so your voice could carry authority. Every quiet season was a classroom. Every moment of being overlooked was heaven hiding you from what could have destroyed your focus. When others laughed freely, you carried burdens. When others ran ahead, you had to wait. But look closely now, those delays were divine. Heaven was shaping your endurance. You are not behind. You are being built. The waiting wasn't wasted. It was worship in disguise. Chosen one. It's time to see the gift in your solitude. You are not being excluded. You are being refined for excellence. You've been wondering why doors don't open easily. Why relationships fade quickly. Why comfort never lasts. It's because mediocrity can't hold what you carry. Heaven refuses to let you settle where you don't belong. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 4, verse 3. Know that the Lord has set apart his faithful servant for himself. The Lord hears when I call to him. Let that truth sink deep into your spirit. You've been set apart for him, not for recognition, not for applause, not even for acceptance, but for divine purpose. That's why nothing ordinary satisfies you anymore. You were marked for more. And yes, that mark attracts misunderstanding. People misread your silence as arrogance. They call your discernment overthinking. They label your conviction as stubbornness. But heaven smiles, because heaven knows you're just learning to guard what's sacred. You're protecting the oil, not proving your worth. It's okay if they don't understand. You're not walking for their approval, you're walking for alignment. The world might not see the crown you carry, but the heavens do. The path of the chosen is narrow, not crowded. It's quiet, not celebrated. It's heavy, but holy. There's beauty in being set apart. You get to hear heaven clearly because the noise of the crowd no longer controls you. You start to value peace more than popularity, purpose more than comfort, and obedience more than applause. That's how heaven knows you're ready for more, when you stop chasing visibility and start embracing purity. Chosen one, your solitude has been sacred. You are not missing out. You are being molded. Don't despise the process that others don't see. The secret place is where crowns are crafted. And right now, heaven is crafting yours. You are the answer to a problem the world doesn't even recognize yet. You are being prepared for assignments too weighty for the untrained. That's why the separation came first. That's why the pruning felt painful. Heaven never isolates without intention. The time is coming when what was hidden will be revealed, and the world will understand why you had to walk this particular road. Until then, protect your focus, keep your spirit clean, guard your peace like a treasure. Every time you say no to distraction, you say yes to destiny. Now, chosen one, I want you to write something below. Just 4 words or less, a declaration that marks this moment. Type, I'm set apart. Why? Because writing it is a prophetic act. It's you agreeing with heaven's design instead of fighting it. Every time you type it, you're telling your own soul, I accept the calling. I embrace the isolation. I trust the plan. And heaven responds to agreement. When you align your declaration with divine intention, power is released into your atmosphere. So type it boldly, not as a caption, but as a covenant. You're not just commenting, you're confirming. Heaven is listening. Angels take note when chosen ones align their words with their worth. You are set apart to carry something eternal. You are set apart to reveal light in dark spaces. You are set apart to become living proof that surrender leads to strength. This is your reminder. Chosen one, you were never meant to blend in. You were meant to blaze trails. Chosen one, the storm that surrounds you is not chaos, it is calibration. Every gust, every wave, every unexpected change has been orchestrated to align you with divine purpose. What you call confusion, heaven calls correction. What feels like disorder is really design. Heaven is not punishing you, it is positioning you. You've been praying for answers, But the storm is the answer. You've asked for direction, and heaven responded with disruption. You've been seeking clarity, yet God used the wind to clear what was never meant to stay. That's why people left suddenly, opportunities shifted, and comfort disappeared. It wasn't betrayal, it was divine redirection. You see, storms are not random. They are heaven's way of shaking the ground beneath you so that what is unstable falls away. The shaking feels violent, but its purpose is holy. The divine cannot build on false foundations. So heaven will always test what you stand on. When the winds rise, they reveal whether your trust is in God or in what was temporary. You've been holding on tightly, trying to keep everything together, afraid that if it all falls apart, you'll have nothing left. But listen, sometimes heaven lets things fall so that you can finally see what was never holding you in the first place. The storm is not here to take from you, it's here to teach you what cannot be taken. Chosen one, you are being aligned, not abandoned. The pain is not random, it's precise. Heaven is recalibrating your soul. Every disappointment has been a tool of realignment. Every closed door, a form of guidance. What you thought was rejection was really protection. You prayed for purpose, and heaven started pruning. You asked to be used, and heaven began removing what would have hindered your next assignment. The lightnings that flash across your sky are not there to frighten you. They are divine signals. Heaven is communicating through the storm. The roar you hear is not the enemy's victory, it's heaven's command. Something within you is being awakened, reshaped, and redirected toward alignment. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 9, in their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. That's what's happening right now. Heaven is establishing your steps through the shaking. You made your plans, but the wind is rerouting your path to divine precision. The storm is not against your destiny, it's adjusting your direction so you don't miss it. You felt exhausted, drained, unsure of how to move forward, because every familiar landmark seems to have vanished. But that's the point. Heaven removes reference points so that faith becomes your compass. You're not supposed to navigate by memory, you're meant to navigate by revelation. The storm has a sacred rhythm. While it seems chaotic to your eyes, it moves to heaven's tempo. Every delay has purpose. Every detour carries meaning. Heaven is protecting you from paths that looked easy but led to emptiness. You may not see it now, but later you'll look back and realize the storm didn't block your blessing. It became the bridge to it. Chosen one, pay attention to what remains steady when everything else is shaking. That's where your true alignment lies. The people who stayed, the peace that somehow survived, the voice that still whispers hope in the dark, that's where heaven is. And do not despise the uncertainty. Uncertainty is heaven's invitation to trust. The moment you surrender the illusion of control, you step into divine flow. You don't need to understand every move, you just need to stay available. The storm teaches surrender, and surrender births strength. There's a deep peace that only comes after you stop resisting the wind. When you finally say, I trust you, even here, the storm begins to obey. Because storms cannot destroy what's aligned with heaven, they can only reveal it. What you are experiencing now is a divine reset. The patterns of the old season are being broken, so new order can emerge. You are learning that true alignment is not about comfort, but about obedience. Heaven's path may twist and turn, but it always leads to glory. So let the wind blow. Let it clear what cannot go with you. Let it strip away what weighs too much for your next level. You're not losing control. You're learning divine rhythm. Chosen one. Your footing is being strengthened. You are not drifting. You are being directed. Heaven is teaching you to walk by faith, to listen beyond logic, to rest even when everything is moving. And when the clouds finally part, you'll realize you were never off course. Every detour was destiny in disguise. Every storm was a compass in motion. Heaven didn't lose you in the chaos, it led you through it. You are aligned, even in the wind. Chosen one. Have you noticed how quiet heaven has been lately? The silence is heavy like a thick mist that refuses to lift. You've prayed, cried, and still, no answer echoes back. But don't mistake silence for absence. Sometimes heaven speaks loudest through stillness. The lack of sound is not neglect, it's nurture. When a teacher gives a test, they stop talking. The silence isn't rejection, it's examination. You are in that sacred pause right now. A divine moment where heaven is measuring what you truly believe when the voice you depend on goes quiet. You are not being ignored. You are being trusted to remember what was already spoken. Think of a seed buried in soil. It's surrounded by darkness, pressed beneath weight, hearing nothing, seeing nothing. Yet, inside that silence, a miracle unfolds. The seed is breaking open, its shell cracking under divine pressure, roots forming where no one can see. That's where you are hidden beneath life's soil, unseen but not forgotten. Heaven is cultivating something deep within you. You've asked, why won't God speak? But chosen one, He already has. You're walking inside the very word. He spoke before the storm began. The silence now is heaven's way of saying, hold your position. I've already declared your victory. And the ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 8, verse 28, remind us, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Yes, even this silence works for your good. Even this confusion carries a blessing. The pause is not the end, it's preparation. Heaven's quietness is the deep breath before the wind shifts. Sometimes, the silence of heaven is like an artist's still hand before the final stroke. The painting is not abandoned, it's being perfected. You may feel unfinished, uncertain, unseen, but heaven sees the entire canvas. The parts that confuse you now will one day make sense when viewed from divine distance. Don't rush this silence. Sit in it. Learn its rhythm. In a world that demands noise, heaven's stillness is sacred rebellion. It's where revelation grows roots. It's where strength is formed without applause. You've been conditioned to think that productivity equals progress. But in God's realm, stillness is strategy. He is not delaying, He is developing. When heaven is quiet, it's not because nothing is happening, but because everything is. So don't panic in this pause. The same God who spoke galaxies into motion also knows how to whisper purpose into silence. You are being refined in divine stillness. There's something else heaven wants you to understand. Silence exposes motives. It reveals whether you seek God's presence or merely His answers. Many chase miracles. but the chosen chase relationship. Silence filters the two. When heaven stays quiet, it's inviting you to stay close. And when that loneliness creeps in, remember this: you are never truly alone. The silence is filled with angels watching your endurance. With heaven's gaze fixed on your faith, you are surrounded. Even when you feel secluded. Chosen one, let the silence teach you to hear differently. Listen for the subtle signs, the peace that suddenly settles on your heart, the verse that reappears in your mind, the small act of kindness that arrives just when you need hope. Heaven speaks through these whispers. Now, I'll speak to your heart with honesty. Messages like this, the words that reach through the fog and find your soul, take time, prayer, and care to bring into being. If this ministry has poured strength into your spirit, if it has held your heart in the quiet hours, then your support keeps this voice alive for others still waiting in their own silence. If you feel led, like this message, so it can travel farther, share it so another weary soul can find light in their midnight hour. Subscribe to stay connected, not for algorithms, but so heaven's reminders keep flowing into your life. And if you are moved to donate, do it as an offering of gratitude, not obligation, like pouring oil on an altar that already carries your name. Your gift, whether a word, a share, or a seed, helps sustain this divine work, so heaven's whispers can keep finding those who've forgotten how to listen. Think of it not as giving away, but as planting forward. Seeds of kindness always return as harvests of grace. Chosen one, even now, heaven is still working. The silence won't last forever. You will hear again. You will see again. The very stillness that frustrated you will soon become the peace that guides you. Wait with expectation. Worship in the quiet. Trust that heaven's silence is full of movement. You are not being ignored. You are being prepared for revelation. Chosen one. There comes a moment when pain becomes proof, when heaven's silence turns into its loudest declaration of trust. You've been wondering if your struggle means you've done something wrong. But hear me clearly. This season of endurance is not punishment. It is promotion in disguise. The weight you feel is heaven's way of saying, I trust you with pressure that others could not bear. And you've carried things that would have broken most. You've smiled when no one knew your heart was trembling. You've prayed for others while your own prayers seemed unanswered. And yet you're still here, still faithful, still standing. That alone is evidence of divine strength within you. You've proven your loyalty in the valley. And that's why heaven is preparing to lift you higher. You might not realize it, but every trial has been heaven's endorsement. Each tear has been counted. Each night remembered. You've walked through darkness without losing your light. That is what trust looks like in heaven's eyes. Chosen one. Listen carefully. Not everyone is trusted with this kind of battle. When God marks you, He measures your capacity for endurance. He doesn't test to expose your weakness. He tests to reveal your weight. The greater the calling, the heavier the refining, and the heavier the refining, the brighter the reward. The proof of divine trust is not ease, it's endurance. Heaven trusted Job with loss, Joseph with betrayal, Esther with risk, Paul with pain. You too have been trusted, not because you were the strongest, but because you were willing. Your willingness made you eligible for heaven's confidence. The Spirit spoke through the Apostle Peter. First letter, chapter 1. Verse 7. These trials will show that your faith is genuine. It is being tested as fire tests and purifies gold, though your faith is far more precious than mere gold. Left. Read that again. Your faith is being refined, not rejected. Every flame you've felt has been forming something eternal inside you. Heaven is burning away what's temporary so that only truth remains. You are becoming gold in the fire, and heaven calls that proof of trust. Think about it. Gold never panics when placed in the furnace. It knows fire doesn't destroy, it purifies. The same is true for you. This heat is not meant to consume you, but to confirm you. Heaven is showing creation what trust looks like in motion. Chosen one. You are heaven's display of durability. Every time you get up after being knocked down, you preach a sermon to the unseen realm. Every time you love again after heartbreak, you teach angels about grace. Every time you choose to forgive, you make darkness tremble. Heaven trusts you with this assignment because your endurance glorifies God. The storm has been long. Yes, but it has purpose. You are not merely surviving, you are being shaped into something heaven can rely on. Others may crumble when pressure rises, but you, chosen one, are becoming steady as stone. You are the kind of soul heaven builds movements on. I know it hurts. I know the nights have been silent, but even silence serves divine fonction. It teaches you to lean on memory instead of miracles, to remember what God said, not just what He's doing. That is how heaven grows maturity within you. You are being promoted in ways unseen. Heaven measures advancement differently. It doesn't count stages. It counts surrender. And you've surrendered again and again, trusting when logic failed. That's why the heavens call you faithful. Soon, you'll understand why the battle was so fierce. The weight you're carrying is birthing a testimony that will break chains for others. You'll see that the pain wasn't random, it was preparation. You are being trusted with the kind of strength that turns warfare into worship. Now, chosen one, if these words resonate in your spirit, I want you to mark this moment. Type 555 below. Why 555? Because in heaven's language, 5 represents grace, and grace multiplied means divine empowerment to finish what you started. Typing 555 is not just a comment, it's a covenant. It says, I choose to see my trials as trust. I accept my refining. I walk in grace multiplied. When you type those numbers, you're declaring that what once felt like punishment is actually partnership. Heaven and you working together, trusting each other, advancing purpose through pain. So, breathe. Chosen one. Heaven hasn't abandoned you, it's applauding you. The storm you're in isn't proof of rejection, it's proof of recognition. Heaven doesn't test what it doesn't intend to trust. And when this refining ends, you'll see the reflection of glory staring back from your scars. Every wound will become a window for light. Every trial will turn into testimony, and heaven will say, this one I can trust. And you are not broken, you are becoming. You are not lost, you are being led. And above all, you are trusted deeply, divinely, eternally trusted. Chosen one. Sometimes faith doesn't roar, it whispers. It trembles, yet refuses to disappear. You've been in the kind of fire that makes you question everything you once believed. You've prayed for rescue, but instead of escape, heaven gave you endurance. And though you don't always feel strong, your survival itself is proof of divine strength at work. There are nights when your heart feels heavy, when even breathing feels like obedience. You lie awake, staring into the dark, wondering if heaven still hears you. But hear this, faith is not the absence of fear, it's the decision to move forward anyway. Faith under fire doesn't look polished, it looks persistent. Its shaking hands still lifted in worship, its tears falling while you whisper, "I trust you." No, you might not see it, but something magnificent is happening within. You are being remade from the inside out. Your heart is learning the language of unshakable trust. The version of you that entered the fire will not be the same one that emerges. Heaven doesn't waste fire, it uses it to reveal gold. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 3, verse 19, "The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He enables me to tread on the heights." Those words were written by someone who knew what it meant to trust God through trembling. The prophet wasn't speaking from comfort, he was speaking from chaos. And yet, he declared that strength comes not from circumstance, but from surrender. That's the posture heaven is forming in you right now. You've been asking for deliverance, but heaven is giving you dominion. Deliverance removes you from the fire. Dominion teaches you how to walk through it without being burned. That's why the heat has lingered. It's training your spirit to stay steady even when everything around you shakes. Faith under fire looks like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego standing before flames that could kill them, yet declaring, "Even if he does not rescue us, we will not bow." That's what heaven sees in you. You've been through enough to break anyone else. Yet, your heart still bows to God. Not fear. You've chosen faith over logic, surrender over control, trust over understanding. And though you feel the weight of your trial, heaven is applauding every small act of obedience, the prayers whispered through pain, the forgiveness you gave without apology, the kindness you offered when you were empty yourself. Each of these moments are sparks of divine faith. The fire is revealing something you couldn't have discovered in comfort: endurance. True faith doesn't just survive the flames, it thrives in them. The more the heat rises, the more radiant your spirit becomes. You are being prepared for realms of responsibility and influence that require this kind of spiritual strength. Chosen one. Don't despise the fire. It's your training ground. You are learning to walk among flames without fear. You're being refined until your very presence carries authority that darkness can't imitate. When you emerge, your words will have weight. Your prayers will have power. And your peace will be unbreakable. The truth is, heaven allows the fire to prove you to yourself. God already knows your faith. He's showing you what it looks like under pressure. The same way a sword is tested by heat and impact, your spirit is being tested to reveal its sharpness. You are becoming a weapon of light in a dark generation. Don't misinterpret fatigue as failure. Eben solches rest after battle. Heaven doesn't demand perfection. It delights in persistence. Your tears are not a sign of weakness. They are evidence that your heart still believes enough to feel. Every sigh is a form of prayer. Every trembling step forward is worship in motion. And when the fire finally fades, you'll carry something far greater than comfort. You'll carry authority. You'll walk into places where others are still burning and speak peace that quenches the flame. You'll become the reminder that survival is not the end goal. Transformation is. Chosen one. The fire is not your enemy. It's your refiner, your mentor, your purifier. You will not be reduced, you will be revealed. This is the moment heaven proves that your faith is not seasonal, not emotional, but supernatural. So stand tall in the heat. Remember who walks beside you, the same. One who stood in the furnace with 3 men stands in yours now. The flames may flicker, but they will not consume you. You are not alone in this fire. You are accompanied by grace itself. And when the smoke clears, your story will not smell of suffering, but of strength. Your faith, tested and purified, will shine brighter than gold. Heaven will say of you, that one faithful under fire, trusted through the flames, crowned through endurance, and chosen one. There are moments in your journey when heaven's endorsement is quiet, so quiet you might mistake it for distance. But what if the absence of applause is actually confirmation? What if heaven's greatest approval is not in blessings you can see, but in battles you've survived without losing faith? You've walked through seasons where everything seemed to crumble, yet something within refused to quit. You've been stripped of what you thought defined you, friends. Opportunities, recognition, and left standing with nothing but your faith. That is not failure. That is heaven's signature upon your life. Divine endorsement doesn't arrive with confetti. It comes through crucifixion. It shows itself in endurance when comfort disappears. Chosen one. There are those who were praised loudly but collapsed silently. But you've endured quietly. And heaven has been watching. The crown of the called is often invisible until the assignment is complete. The reason heaven trusts you in secret is because you've proven you can be faithful without a spotlight. The world celebrates outcomes, but heaven honors obedience. You have obeyed, even when obedience cost you visibility. You've stayed in position while others rushed ahead. And though you felt forgotten, the heavens took note. Every time you chose integrity over influence, every time you remained humble while others sought honor, heaven recorded it as worship. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 75, verse 6 and 7. No one from the east or the west or from the desert can exalt themselves. It is God who judges. He brings one down. He exalts another. And that light is coming. The very trials that humbled you are the same ones preparing the stage for your unveiling. But before heaven reveals you, it ensures you're rooted deeply enough to survive elevation. Endorsement without endurance leads to collapse. That's why your testing has been so intense. Heaven refuses to let your character lag behind your calling. You've learned to love in silence, to forgive without closure, to give without credit. You've mastered the art of walking faithfully when no one cheers. That's how heaven knows you're ready. The noise of recognition no longer drives you, and that makes you safe for the spotlight. Divine endorsement often comes wrapped in misunderstanding. Look at Joseph, betrayed by brothers, forgotten in prison. Yet heaven's favor never left him. Each betrayal was a breadcrumb leading him toward destiny. What looked like abandonment was actually direction. Heaven trusted him with hidden seasons because promotion that lasts must be built on humility. Chosen one. It's the same with you. Every person who overlooked you was part of heaven's plan to make sure your worth would never depend on human validation. You were meant to rise quietly, not through popularity, but through purity. You don't need applause when heaven's hand rests upon you. Sometimes, Heaven's endorsement sounds like doors closing. It feels like being last. But in truth, it's preparation for sudden acceleration. When your moment comes, it will not be gradual, it will be divine and undeniable. The same voices that questioned you will witness your unveiling, not because you sought revenge, but because you stayed faithful. You may not feel favored, but favor is not a feeling, it's a fact. It's the invisible shield that kept you when others fell. It's the grace that sustained you through the nights of confusion. It's the quiet strength that keeps you believing even when nothing changes. That is favor. Heaven's endorsement cannot be revoked by earthly opinion. When God stamps approval, no rejection can erase it. You are marked, sealed, chosen, and sustained. The evidence of that endorsement is not seen in luxury, but in longevity. You're still standing, still believing, still becoming chosen one. You are not overlooked, you are overshadowed. Overshadowed by grace, protected by divine timing, preserved by unseen hands. You are heaven's investment, and heaven never wastes what it funds. The silence was your seal. The waiting was your witness. There will come a day when every hidden yes you whispered in pain will echo as public victory. Every seed sown in tears will bloom in its appointed season. And when the world finally sees you, it will not be fame. They recognize it will be faith refined. So rest in this truth. Heaven has endorsed you. You don't need to announce what God has already approved. Walk quietly. Love deeply. Serve faithfully. And watch how heaven unveils you when the time is right. The stage is being built, the light is being adjusted, and soon, heaven's endorsement will speak louder than any applause ever could. Chosen one. Remember that moment, the one where you almost gave up? The night when exhaustion felt heavier than hope, when the prayers turned into silence, and you whispered, "I can't do this anymore." That moment wasn't your ending, it was your awakening. The breaking point was never meant to destroy you, it was meant to introduce you to your real strength. You've been through the kind of pain that doesn't make sense to the world. You've smiled while carrying invisible wounds, encouraged others while your own heart was unraveling. Yet you're still standing. You've survived storms that were meant to erase you. That's not coincidence, it's calling. Heaven has been guarding you, even when you thought you were forgotten. Chosen one. What you felt as despair was actually transition. Heaven doesn't waste a breaking. It uses it as a doorway. You thought you were falling apart, but you were falling into alignment. Every tear that hit the ground became part of heaven's blueprint for your breakthrough, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old. In the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 12, verse 9, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." You see, weakness is not your enemy, it's your invitation. It's the space where grace performs its greatest work. When you reached the end of yourself, heaven finally had room to step in. You were never meant to carry everything alone. The breaking you experienced wasn't proof that you were incapable, it was proof that you were human, and that heaven still had more to write. In that darkest moment, something holy happened. Your dependence shifted. You stopped striving and started surrendering. That's the turning point for every chosen one, when strength stops being an effort and starts being a flow. When you finally release control, heaven releases clarity. Do you remember that silent night when the air felt heavy and you could almost hear your heartbeat echo against the walls. You didn't realize it then. But angels were standing guard. The very breath you struggled to take was being preserved by divine mercy. Heaven didn't let despair win. The enemy wanted to convince you that your pain was permanent, but storms have expiration dates. What you're walking through now is the aftermath of survival, the quiet reconstruction after the war within. The scars you carry are not marks of shame. They're proof you lived through what was designed to bury you. Chosen one. Every time you thought it was over, heaven whispered, "Not yet." Every time you said, "I'm done," grace replied, "I'm not." You have no idea how many times heaven rerouted destruction simply because you were still willing to breathe. And now, the same heaven that watched you crawl is about to watch you rise. What tried to silence you will soon amplify your voice. You're not the same person who entered the storm. You're wiser, deeper, more discerning. You've seen both the cruelty of life and the faithfulness of God, and that makes you dangerous to darkness. But before this new chapter unfolds, I want you to pause and acknowledge the miracle of your endurance. You made it through what was meant to erase you. Heaven didn't choose someone flawless, it chose someone faithful. You didn't have to be perfect, you just had to keep showing up. Right now, take a moment to speak to heaven and to your own heart. Type, "I'm still here." And why those words? Because they carry power. They're not just a comment, they're a declaration of resurrection. When you write, "I'm still here," you're announcing to every unseen force that tried to silence you that it failed. You're testifying to heaven that your spirit still stands, your faith still breathes, and your purpose still burns. Those 3 words are your anthem of survival. They say, "I've been through the fire, but I remain." They say, "My faith has bruises, but it's still alive." They say, "Heaven trusted me with pain, and I didn't give up." Chosen one. Your story is not a tragedy, it's a triumph unfolding. The breaking didn't end you, it baptized you in purpose. The pain you carried is about to become the power you release. The same heart that once shattered will now shine as evidence of divine restoration. Don't be ashamed of your scars. They are heaven's handwriting across your life, spelling out a story that darkness can no longer edit. You are walking proof that resurrection still happens, not just in tombs, but in hearts that refuse to quit. So lift your head, steady your breath, and let gratitude rise. You didn't come this far by chance, you were carried. Heaven trusted you to survive, so others could find hope through your survival. You are still here, you are still chosen, and heaven is not done. Chosen one, you are still standing, and that alone is a miracle. What you have survived is not ordinary, it is sacred proof that endurance runs in your spiritual bloodline. Heaven wrapped you in something invisible yet indestructible resilience. You didn't just outlast the storm, you learned how to walk in the rain and still lift your hands toward heaven. This strength you now carry, it isn't arrogance. It's anointing. It's the mantle of endurance, placed on you when you refused to surrender. Heaven didn't remove the battle, it built your armor in it. You've been trained by trials that most never recover from. And though you may feel tired, that tiredness is not weakness, it's the fragrance of someone heaven has trusted deeply. The Spirit spoke through the Apostle Paul in his second letter to the Thessalonians, chapter 3, verse 13. As for you, brothers and sisters, never tire of doing what is good. Chosen one. Imagine a potter's hands shaping clay on a spinning wheel. Every press of his fingers is pressure, but every rotation brings form. The potter doesn't stop when cracks appear. He wets the clay again, reworks it, refines it. You are that vessel. Heaven's hands are still upon you, molding you through motion, pressing you toward purpose. You may feel the spin, but you are being shaped for strength. And just as the potter knows when to pause, heaven knows when to breathe on your life again. That's what this season is, the divine exhale before the unveiling. The mantle you carry is heavy because it holds legacy. Others will drink from the endurance you've built. But here's something you must understand. Mantles need maintenance. Just as oil lamps must be refilled to keep burning, your spirit must be replenished to keep shining. When you pour out strength for others, heaven invites you to be poured into again. That's where community becomes holy. That's where generosity becomes worship. Beloved, if this message has watered your spirit, if it has spoken where silence once lived, consider how you can keep this stream flowing. The words that reach you are more than sentences. They are seeds, cultivated through prayer, time, and the desire to reach those still in the dark. When you like this message, you become part of its wings, helping it travel where despair still whispers. When you share, you extend light beyond your own storm, giving someone else a reason to rise. When you subscribe, you anchor yourself to a well that keeps pouring living words week after week. And when you donate, whether small or great, it is not a transaction, it is a testimony. It's like placing wood on the altar so that the fire doesn't fade. Your giving becomes the oil that keeps this lamp burning. It ensures that the next chosen one, scrolling through darkness, finds light when they need it most. But understand this, you are never obligated, only invited. Every act of support is sacred when it's birthed from love. It's a ripple in eternity, a silent thank you to heaven for what he has already done in your life. Chosen one, your endurance has value. It's currency in heaven. You've invested tears, faith, and patience. Heaven multiplies those investments through generosity and connection. The same hands that strengthened you will bless what you release. Imagine a river. When water stops flowing, it becomes stagnant. But when it moves, it stays pure. The same is true of blessing. What you allow to flow through, you will never run dry. That's how endurance is maintained, through giving, gratitude, and grace. The mantle of endurance is not just about surviving storms, it's about serving while you heal. It's about carrying peace into rooms still trembling with fear. It's about giving hope to hearts that no longer believe they can last another day. Chosen one, you are not an observer of miracles, you are one. Every heartbeat is a testimony. Every step is sacred ground. The mantle on your shoulders shines with the oil of perseverance. Heaven has clothed you in courage. Let your life now become a lighthouse. Let your endurance light the path for those still finding their way through fog. Keep standing tall, not because the battle is over, but because your posture itself is prophecy. You are declaring to every storm still raging, I am not breaking, I am built for this. If these words have found you in your midnight, if they've reminded you that endurance is holy, hold them close. Let gratitude rise. Let generosity flow. And remember, every act of love, every share, every prayer, every seed you plant, strengthens this divine current. You, chosen one, are not just surviving, you are sustaining the flame for others. The mantle of endurance rests upon you, and heaven is smiling. Chosen one, the breaking you endured was not a mistake, it was a blueprint. Every betrayal, every shattered plan, every season that left you breathless was part of heaven's architecture for your authority. You see, authority is never handed out cheaply. It is earned through endurance, through tears, through trust that refuses to die. Heaven could have given you influence overnight, but influence without depth collapses quickly. That's why you were broken first. Before crowns, there are crosses. Before voices carry power, they carry pain. The authority you are walking into now is not learned from books or borrowed from others. It's born from your own ashes. When life cracked open around you, you thought you were losing everything. But in truth, the breaking was removing what couldn't sustain your next level. Heaven was not punishing you, it was pruning you. The weight of your calling required a stronger foundation, and breaking was the only way to rebuild it. Right. You've walked through seasons of silence and nights of fire, wondering why heaven would allow so much loss. But chosen one, you were being refined into someone who can stand before storms and not flinch. You were being stripped of fear, of pride, of the need for approval. You were being emptied so that glory could fill every space. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 4, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted." Leph, chosen one. The authority you now carry was not granted, it was forged. Heaven trusted you to walk through breaking so you could lead others through healing. You've become fluent in the language of restoration because you've spoken it from the inside out. You know what it's like to hold on when nothing makes sense, to worship when everything hurts, to stand when strength feels gone. That's what gives your words weight. People will listen to you not because of your perfection, but because of your scars. They'll see what you survived and believe that healing is possible. Your authority doesn't come from being untouchable, it comes from being transformed. Every painful chapter is now an instruction manual. Every fall you recovered from is now a lesson you can teach. What once embarrassed you will soon empower others. The same places that broke you will become altars of victory. Heaven never wastes wounds, it turns them into weapons. You may not realize it, but your pain has become prophetic. It speaks louder than sermons, because it's alive with experience. When you walk into rooms, the atmosphere shifts not because you demand it, but because you've been through what others fear, and you carry the fragrance of someone who found peace on the other side. Chosen one, this authority is quiet. It doesn't shout, it simply is. It moves mountains with whispers, disarms darkness with presence, comforts hearts without effort. You've become someone who no longer needs to prove anything. You've already been proven in private. Heaven's signature is on your silence. There's a certain stillness that comes after breaking, the kind of peace that no storm can touch. You don't need to fight to be seen anymore. You simply shine. You've learned to let your scars speak for you. Remember, even Jesus didn't hide his scars after resurrection. He showed them. He used them as proof of power. You, too, will show yours not for pity, but for purpose. Your scars are sacred evidence that resurrection is real, not just in scripture but in your story. Chosen one. You've been entrusted with a new kind of influence, the influence of authenticity. People can sense it. They'll be drawn to the stability in your spirit, the peace in your tone, the strength in your softness. They'll ask how you survived, and your answer will always point back to heaven. The pain was your teacher. The fire was your mentor. The silence was your seminary. And now, you walk in a wisdom that can't be taught by words alone. You've been commissioned as a carrier of healing. The breaking that once felt unbearable has become the birthplace of authority. Heaven's trust in you is complete. You are no longer just a survivor. You are a steward of restoration. You carry within you the power to speak to broken things and see them rise again. This is the quiet glory of the chosen ones. They don't just preach about hope, they embody it. Their presence testifies before they ever open their mouths. You've become one of them. So, walk forward gently. With reverence for what your journey has made you. You don't need to rush to prove that you've healed. The way you breathe now is proof enough. You've been broken, rebuilt, and now you're crowned with authority that can't be shaken. Chosen one, you may not realize it yet, but something holy has happened. Your storm has shifted. What once felt like punishment has turned into promotion. The very winds that threatened to destroy you have become the wings that lift you. This is not just survival anymore. This is your hidden graduation. For months, maybe years, you've been tested in silence. Heaven watched as you kept showing up when no one noticed. As you kept believing when evidence disappeared. You didn't know it then. But every trial was an exam. Every challenge, a divine question. Will you still trust me when you can't trace me? And you did. You kept walking. You kept praying. You stayed faithful. And now, heaven has written past over your name. This is the moment where the student becomes the messenger, where the broken becomes the builder, where the crushed becomes the carrier of glory. You have graduated from the classroom of pain into the calling of purpose. Chosen one. What's happening now is not just a change in circumstances, it's a shift in atmosphere. Heaven is repositioning you. What once resisted you will now recognize you. Doors that wouldn't open before will unlock at your arrival. Not because you forced them, but because heaven now trusts you with them. Heaven speaks clearly through the words recorded in the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. And you didn't give up. You held on when it hurt. You chose faith when fear made more sense. And now the harvest you've been waiting for is on its way, not just in things, but in transformation. You are reaping strength, peace, authority, and divine clarity. But here's something important to remember. Graduation doesn't end the journey, it expands it. You are now responsible for what you've learned in the fire. Heaven doesn't promote you for applause, it promotes you for assignment. You are stepping into a new level where your words carry weight and your presence brings calm. Chosen one. Don't downplay what heaven has done in you. This is not luck, it's legacy. The very pain you thought disqualified you has now become your proof of readiness. You were never behind. You were being built for something bigger than timelines could measure. Every sleepless night, every lonely prayer, every small act of obedience has gathered into this moment. You're walking into a season where things will begin to make sense. The lessons will connect. The wounds will heal. And the puzzle pieces will align. What you lost will be returned in ways that no one will be able to explain but God. And yet, in this new chapter, humility must remain your anchor. Graduation doesn't mean pride, it means stewardship. Heaven promoted you, not because you were perfect, but because you stayed pliable. You remained teachable in the test. You learned to listen when heaven whispered. That's what separates the chosen from the comfortable. Now, heaven is releasing you to carry light into new places, into spaces that have forgotten hope, into hearts that think it's too late. You are the evidence that it's never too late for redemption. The very storm that tried to end you has become the testimony that will awaken others. Your story has become a seed of awakening. Each time you share your truth with grace, you plant courage in someone else's soil. Each time you speak peace into pain, you multiply the miracle you once begged for. That's how heaven graduates its chosen, not with applause, but with assignment. And now, I want you to mark this moment, not just in memory, but in movement. Type 444 below. Why 444? Because it represents divine alignment, the moment when heaven, earth, and destiny move as one. Typing 444 isn't superstition, it's symbolism. It's your way of saying, I accept this next level. I'm in alignment with heaven's plan. I choose to move forward in faith. Oh, when you write those numbers, you're making a spiritual statement that the wilderness didn't waste you. It prepared you. That your scars are no longer your shame, they are your signature. You're declaring that the old season has ended and the new has begun. Chosen one. This is your confirmation. You've graduated unseen. Heaven clapped quietly while you stood still. And now, as the dust settles, a new sound begins, the rhythm of purpose, the hum of divine timing, the melody of alignment. You are not where you started. You are not who you were. You've stepped into the chapter heaven wrote long before the storm began. Walk boldly now. You're not just passing through, you're passing over. Your hidden graduation is heaven's public endorsement. You are ready. Chosen one. You have stood in storms that would have silenced others. You have watched the world around you crumble. Yet something within remained unbroken. What you did not know then was that heaven was teaching you one of the deepest lessons of divine power, how to stand in the eye of the storm. The eye of the storm is not the absence of conflict. It is the center of calm in the midst of it. It is that sacred place where peace becomes stronger than pressure, where trust becomes louder than fear. You've reached that place now. Heaven has trained you not to flee from the wind, but to find stillness within it. At first, you resisted the chaos. You prayed for it to end, for the winds to stop howling, for the waves to finally rest. But slowly, you learned, peace is not found when the storm stops. Peace is found when your heart learns to rest while it still rages. The winds haven't won, they've revealed what can't be shaken. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. And that is the message carved into your journey. Chosen one. Stillness is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength. It is the posture of someone who has learned that faith doesn't always need movement to prove itself. Sometimes faith looks like standing when everything else is falling. Chosen one. Your calm is not emptiness, it's evidence. It tells the universe that you have encountered heaven in the middle of the chaos. That's why certain things that once triggered fear now meet silence in your soul. You've been through too much to be easily shaken. There's a peace that cannot be explained, only experienced. It comes after you've wrestled with worry, argued with doubt, and cried out for rescue. It comes after heaven allows the storm to teach you that control is an illusion and trust is your truest weapon. That's where you stand now, at the center of surrender. The eye of the storm is also where vision clears. While everything spins around you, the center remains still. And from that stillness, you see differently. You stop looking for escape and start looking for instruction. Heaven begins to reveal strategy in the silence. The storm that once confused you now begins to communicate. You start to understand why certain things had to fall away, why some people couldn't stay, why detours were divine. The storm became your teacher. It showed you the layers of yourself, the fears that needed facing, the faith that needed firming, the patience that needed practice. And now, standing in the eye, you can finally see the whole picture. Chosen one. This calm you carry, it's contagious. Those who come near you will feel it. They will not understand how you smile while surrounded by chaos, how you walk slowly through the noise without trembling. What they won't realize is that your peace isn't circumstantial, it's covenantal. It comes from heaven, not from the world. There is power in your stillness. Stillness is strategy. When you refuse to react in panic, you rob darkness of its momentum. You confuse your enemies because they expected breakdown, but instead they find balance. That is what the storm was meant to produce, a peace that becomes your armor. And now, chosen one, you move differently. You no longer chase answers, you carry assurance. You no longer beg heaven for escape. You walk as evidence that heaven already dwells within you. The winds may rise again, but they can no longer move you. You've learned the rhythm of rest in motion. The eye of the storm is a rare place. Few reach it. Even fewer remain in it. But you were built to dwell there. You are a walking sanctuary, a living reminder that calm can coexist with chaos. You are the embodiment of Psalm 46:10, the living echo of "Be still and know." And heaven is proud of what you've become, not because you won the fight, but because you learned when to stop fighting. You surrendered not out of defeat, but out of discernment. You realized that peace is not found by escaping storms, but by understanding that God is the calm within them. Chosen one. You now carry that calm wherever you go. It radiates from your voice, your presence, your silence. You've become what the storm was meant to produce, a vessel of stillness in a world that never stops spinning. And though more storms may come, none will shake you like the first. You've learned the secret. Peace isn't found in the absence of storms, but in the presence of the one who commands them. You stand now in that sacred eye, untouched, unbothered, unbreakable, chosen one. There is a reason the darkness has been restless around you. It senses what heaven has already decreed. You are light, and that light terrifies what hides in the shadows. Darkness does not waste its energy on the ordinary. It only resists what carries revelation. That's why the warfare around you has been relentless. You are not under attack because you are weak. You are under attack because you are luminous. Light never asks permission to shine, it simply does. Yet, for the light to expand, it must first be surrounded by night. You've been feeling the pressure of that night season, the heaviness of unseen battles, the fatigue of fighting what you cannot name. But what you're fighting is not failure, it's recognition. Darkness has recognized your assignment, and it fears what you are becoming. At first, you thought it was coincidence, the sudden opposition, the misunderstandings, the unexpected obstacles. But in truth, the increase of pressure is proof of increase in purpose. Heaven's trust in you has made you visible to realms unseen. When God crowns someone with light, darkness notices. According to the words recorded in the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 5, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. This is your reality now. You are not merely surviving the dark, you are redefining it. Wherever you go, darkness must retreat. It cannot coexist with the brightness that rests upon you. The anointing you carry exposes deception, confronts confusion, and awakens what has been sleeping in others. That's why some people react to you without understanding why. Your presence stirs what they've tried to ignore. Chosen one. Light carries authority, but it also carries responsibility. You can't hide anymore. You can't shrink to make others comfortable. The moment heaven ignited your spirit, your invisibility ended. You've been chosen to carry illumination, to walk into shadowed spaces and remind the lost that dawn still comes. There will be those who love your light and those who fear it. Some will be drawn to you, others will withdraw. Don't misinterpret either response. Both are evidence that you shine. Even Jesus, the purest light of all, was misunderstood by those he came to save. The brightness of truth always exposes what prefers the comfort of darkness. And you, chosen one, were not made to dim for anyone. The same light that comforts the humble confronts the proud. That's how heaven designed it, to divide truth from falsehood, to reveal what hearts conceal. You may not always be comfortable in this calling, but you are necessary. Light doesn't apologize for existing, it simply reveals what is real. You've noticed how some environments drain you quickly, how certain conversations feel heavier than others. That's not weakness, it's spiritual sensitivity. The brighter your light, the more you discern what doesn't belong. You are becoming heaven's lantern in places long forgotten by faith. Every time you choose peace over bitterness, you release a beam of light into someone's shadow. The darkness around you has tried everything: fear, distraction, temptation to dim that flame. But it cannot win, because the source of your light is divine. You don't power it through effort, you sustain it through intimacy with the Creator. Each time you return to stillness, to prayer, to gratitude, the light within you expands again. Chosen one. There's a beauty in the way heaven allows contrast. Without night, light would never be noticed. Without shadow, radiance would lose meaning. So don't despise the presence of darkness. It has revealed the brilliance of what lives inside you. You are becoming a living paradox, gentle yet fierce, humble yet bold, calm yet uncontainable. That's what divine light looks like in human form. It doesn't seek control, it simply transforms by being. Your assignment is not to argue with darkness, but to outshine it. In time, you'll understand that every storm, every rejection, every trial has polished your glow. You are like a candle lit by heaven's own hand, pressed by winds, yet never extinguished. The more the world tries to blow you out, the brighter you burn. And as you keep walking, your path illuminates for others. You won't even need to speak. Your endurance, your peace, your quiet strength will do the talking. People lost in their own darkness will follow the warmth they feel from your presence, not even realizing they're being led toward light. Chosen one. This is the divine irony of illumination. The darkness you once feared now reveals your purpose. You were sent into it not to be swallowed by it, but to redefine it. You are heaven's contrast, proof that even in a world filled with shadows, light still wins. So walk on. Don't question your glow. Don't explain your radiance. The darkness will always notice you, but it will never overcome you. You are the living echo of that eternal promise. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. That is who you are, unhidden, unstoppable, unafraid, chosen one. The weight you've carried has been holy. The pain that pressed you was not a curse, it was a crown in the making. Heaven has watched as you walked through shadows with faith as your only light. And now, in the quiet glow of this moment, you stand before the revelation. After the crushing comes the crowning. Every tear that fell was liquid gold. Every heartbreak, a forge for holiness. You didn't realize it, but heaven was shaping your spirit into royalty long before anyone saw your worth. The oil of anointing doesn't flow from comfort, it flows from crushing. That's why you were pressed so hard. Why life felt unfair. Why loss seemed unending. You were being prepared to wear something weighty. The Apostle Peter reminds us in his first letter, chapter 5, verse 10, the God of all grace, who called you to his eternal glory, will restore you and make you strong, firm, and steadfast. That is heaven's promise to you. The suffering was never permanent. It was preparation. Every moment of pain was heaven strengthening the roots of your faith, anchoring you for the weight of glory that would follow. The breaking wasn't to destroy you. It was to build endurance that no season could undo. You were being trained, quietly and carefully, for the moment when heaven would restore and reveal you, chosen one. The crown you carry isn't made of gold, it's made of grace. It gleams with every moment you forgave instead of retaliated. Every time you worshipped through pain, every time you chose obedience over comfort. That's how heaven measures royalty, not by how loudly you win, but by how quietly you remain faithful. You are the rose that bloomed in fire, the diamond cut in secret, the vessel polished by invisible hands. You are not the same as before. Your suffering has given you shine. But even as heaven places the crown upon your spirit, remember this, it's not for display. It's for duty. Crowns come with calling. They remind you not that you've arrived, but that you've been assigned. So, wear it gently. Walk humbly. Let the light of your endurance guide those who have lost theirs. There will be souls drawn to you because your scars glow with hope. When they ask how you made it, you won't point to yourself. You'll point upward to the one who turned ashes into adornment. Chosen one. Messages like these, the ones that find you in hidden hours, that hold you through hard nights, are more than mere words. They are a ministry, a stream of grace poured from one heart into another. If this message has touched you, let your heart reflect it outward. Like this message, so the light can travel farther. It's a small act that multiplies impact, like throwing one stone into water and watching ripples reach unseen shores. Share it with someone walking through their own crushing, because you never know which heart is on the edge of surrender. And if you feel drawn, subscribe not as a routine click, but as a spiritual connection. It's how you stay within this current of encouragement, how you keep heaven's reminders flowing into your everyday. Let this be the voice that keeps you steady when storms try to steal your peace. Finally, if you are moved to donate, let it be an act of gratitude, not obligation. Imagine it as placing oil into a lamp. Each drop keeps the flame burning for someone else still wandering in the dark. Your support turns light into legacy. You're not just giving, you're building bridges of hope that stretch far beyond your screen. And after you've done so, pause for a moment. Let gratitude rise within you. Then, leave a comment below. Write what this message stirred in your soul. Maybe one line, one truth, one small testimony. When you speak it, you make it real. Your words might be the spark that reignites another chosen one's faith tonight. Think of this space as a garden of words, where every comment is a seed of light. Your reflection, your story, your faith, they all help this garden grow. Chosen one, the crushing has ended. The crown rests upon your spirit. Now, you have been refined into royalty. Walk with the quiet confidence of one who knows that every scar has meaning, every trial has purpose, and every crown comes with responsibility. You are heaven's proof that endurance leads to elevation. So stand tall, crowned, not for pride, but for purpose. The world may not see your crown, but all of heaven recognizes it. Chosen one. There are records in heaven that no human eye has seen, pages written in light, documenting every moment you thought no one noticed, each tear shed in faith, every prayer whispered through pain, every act of obedience that cost you something. Heaven has recorded it all. Nothing done in surrender is ever forgotten. The unseen realm has been keeping account, not to judge you, but to honor you. You see, heaven doesn't measure worth the way the world does. The world counts success in applause and numbers. Heaven counts it in endurance and faith. When you showed up weary but still willing, heaven wrote it down. When you forgave the ones who wounded you, heaven sealed it as strength. When you stayed kind in cruelty and faithful in famine, heaven called it victory. Every unseen victory is etched in eternity. There are scrolls that bear your name, stories of courage written in invisible ink, waiting for the day they'll be revealed. You may think your sacrifices disappeared into the air, but heaven has them stored like treasures. The divine remembers what people forget. Heaven's record of your battle is not just a list of what you endured, it's the proof of who you became. The struggle was not for nothing. Every loss taught you wisdom. Every delay sharpened your discernment. Every wound stretched your compassion. The person you are now is evidence of transformation. And heaven rejoices over that more than any achievement the world can see. Scripture declares through the prophet Malachi, chapter 3, verse 16, those who feared the Lord talked with each other, and the Lord listened and heard them. A scroll of remembrance was written before him. You are written on that scroll. Every time you honored God in silence, when no one applauded, heaven took note. Every time you chose truth over comfort, angels stood witness. The unseen audience of eternity has been cheering you on, even when earth stayed quiet. Chosen one. Understand this. Nothing is lost in the kingdom of heaven. Every ounce of effort, every act of love, every humble yes has weight. When others misunderstood your motives, heaven understood your heart. When others turned away, heaven turned toward you. The record of your battle isn't filled with defeat, it's filled with data of divine endurance. Heaven's archives don't just record events, they record intentions. The smallest choices made in faith become eternal echoes. Even the battles you thought you lost were victories in disguise, because they purified your purpose. You've been walking with invisible crowns, carrying unseen medals. The world may never know your warfare, but heaven does. That's why favor keeps finding you, even when you don't chase it, because heaven rewards those who quietly remain faithful. Chosen one. This is what few understand. Spiritual victories are rarely loud. They happen in kitchens while you pray through tears. In cars, when you choose to forgive one more time. In lonely places where you keep believing, when no one would blame you for quitting. Those are the moments that move heaven. Every sigh you've released in faith rises like incense before the throne. Every time you chose stillness instead of panic, you built altars that cannot be destroyed. Heaven keeps those altars standing, glowing with the light of your perseverance. You've wondered if your obedience mattered, if your quiet yes really changed anything. It did. It changed realms. It shifted atmospheres. Every seed of obedience you've planted has roots in eternity. You may not see the full harvest here, but heaven's record ensures it will bloom in time. There are crowns waiting for you that have already been forged in the fires you've endured. Rewards woven from the threads of nights you thought would never end. Every unseen act of faith is shaping eternal recognition that cannot fade. And yet, chosen one, this isn't about earning heaven's love. It's about realizing you already have it. These records are not transactions, they are testimonies. They tell the story of a heart that trusted even when it broke, a soul that believed even when it bled. The archives of heaven aren't dusty scrolls, they're living memories. The moment you step into eternity, you'll see your own life through heaven's eyes, and every silent sacrifice will shine brighter than any crown. Until that day, know this: you are remembered, you are recorded, you are revered in the halls of heaven for battles no one saw, for victories fought in whispers, for strength displayed in surrender. The world measures what you show, heaven measures what you withhold. You could have cursed, but you blessed. You could have walked away, but you stayed. You could have doubted, but you believed again. That's what's written in your record, the faith that wouldn't die. Chosen one. Your story is already a scroll of glory. It will stand forever as proof that light conquers darkness, that obedience outlasts opposition, that love wins when nothing else remains. Heaven has seen your fight, and it has called it finished. Faithful, and forever victorious. Chosen one. The storm has finally begun to break. You may not have noticed it yet. The clouds still hang. The air still trembles. But look closer. There is a shift. The thunder that once threatened you now sounds distant, like a memory slowly fading into silence. The wind that once opposed you has softened into a whisper. The battle is ending. Not because the storm grew tired, but because you outlasted it. You have been tested by waves that would have swallowed others. You have walked through winds meant to strip your faith to its core. And yet here you stand, not as who you were, but as who you were always meant to be. The storm did not steal your identity, it revealed it. What you mistook for punishment was preparation. What felt like breaking was birthing. The ancient words recorded in the book of Psalms, chapter 30, verse 5, now echo over you. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Endo, the morning has come, chosen one, not suddenly, but steadily, not in noise, but in knowing. You are stepping out of survival and into sovereignty. You are no longer reacting to storms, you are commanding them. Heaven has entrusted you with authority born in endurance. You've learned not to chase calm, but to carry it. This is the unveiling of heaven's intention all along. Every gust, every tear, every silence was designed to transform you from follower to forerunner, from broken vessel to bearer of light. You are now heaven's trusted warrior, refined, tested, and crowned with understanding. You've discovered that divine trust doesn't always feel like favor, but it always ends as victory. Chosen one. Pause and feel the air around you. It's different now, softer, lighter. It's the atmosphere of completion. You've crossed the invisible line between trial and triumph. You're no longer standing in the storm, you're standing on it. What once overwhelmed you has become your foundation. You walk now on the very waves that tried to drown you. The peace you feel isn't accidental, it's authority taking form. It's the fruit of every sleepless night, every whispered prayer, every decision to believe again when it made no sense. That peace is your inheritance. You earned it not by force, but by faith. Chosen one. Look back for a moment, not in regret, but in recognition. The road behind you glows faintly now, illuminated by lessons that only pain could teach. The places where you stumbled are now altars of remembrance. The tears you shed have become rivers that others will drink from. You've turned sorrow into soil, grief into growth. This is what heaven saw from the beginning, a soul that could not be destroyed because it was built from divine design. Every scar on you now shines like glass in sunlight. Every wound has healed into wisdom. You are living proof that storms end, that faith stands, and that grace never runs out. The darkness did not win. It never stood a chance. It only strengthened the contrast so your light could shine clearer. You are not the same one who entered the storm, trembling. You walk now as one who carries peace that cannot be shaken. Heaven has entrusted you with calm that commands chaos, with strength that serves gently, with authority that restores instead of controls. Chosen one. This chapter is not an ending, it's an emergence. The storm has done its work. Now, heaven's work begins through you. You are not returning to what was. You are stepping into what's new. You'll carry the lessons of the wind into every conversation, every mission, every heart you encounter. The world will feel the steadiness you gained from the storm. And though you will face other winds, they will never move you the same way again. Once you've walked through the heart of chaos and found God there, fear loses its language. You have become fluent in peace. Chosen one. Breathe deeply. The sky above you is clearing. The scent of rain remains. But it carries promise now, not pain. You are walking into a season where every battle will make sense, where every loss will reveal its lesson, where joy will no longer be delayed, it will dwell. This is the sound of completion, the hush that follows victory, the peace that comes after purpose fulfilled. You have not just survived the storm, you have inherited its wisdom. Heaven trusts you now, not because you are flawless, but because you are faithful. And so, beloved chosen one, this is where your story settles into stillness, not as an ending, but as a new beginning. The storm that once roared around you has become the rhythm of your resilience. You are the living echo of heaven's faithfulness, the breathing evidence that trust can take form in flesh. When you look at your reflection now, see beyond survival. See the refinement, the wisdom, the strength you never knew was possible. The old you was fragile, uncertain, questioning your worth. The new you stands tall, clothed in clarity, crowned in calm. You no longer seek validation. You are validation, proof that divine purpose prevails. Walk forward gently, for your footsteps now carry healing. Every space you enter will feel lighter. Every word you speak will hold weight. You've become a vessel of restoration, a carrier of peace, a living sanctuary in motion. Remember what the storm taught you. God was never distant. He was in the wind, in the silence, in the breaking. And now, He is in the peace. Keep your heart soft, your faith steady, your spirit open. Heaven's trust in you is not ending, it's expanding. You are heaven's storm-tested, light-bearing, unshakable proof that grace always wins. The storm breaks, the chosen rise, the story continues.